Hello, Mary Taylor. It's quiet out there today. I'm going to wait a little bit longer and see if anybody else joins. Otherwise, I'll bump off and get ready for our gig tonight. Mr. Roz, happy August 31st. We're going to do triads today if we get enough humans to pop in. But I'll be happy to just do it, Mr. Roz and Mary Taylor. And I'm trying a different guitar today. I haven't played one of these. God, if they were really popular in the 80s, and I had a really nice 64 original. But I sold my Telly when I got the PRS, and it's kind of weird not having a Fender in the house, so I'm mulling over being the new owner of this. Let's give it another, what is it? What time are we at? Because I have to be with Miss Mary Taylor by 6 o'clock or so. You better not forget about the gig tonight, Mary. I know you're only seeing a still photo yet. I didn't pop off that, but I will. Right now. Here you go. There you see my ugly face. And the new toy that I may own or may not. Who's out there? Hey, Clive. Still seeing from last week. Oh, he's still reeling from last week. Well, this week's we're gonna bring this back down to some basics. I think everybody will get something out of this. Triads are the pillar of everything that we work off of, I guess. So let's. I think we got all my my band of culprits here. So let's. I don't want to hang out too long, because, as Miss Mary Taylor said, we have to be somewhere at the gig, somewhere by 6:30 or something to set up. So I forgot that I have a Tuesday night gig when I moved this to Tuesday, because I was at CBS all week, and I'll be there tomorrow and the following day. Newsroom is crazy with Afghanistan and tornadoes and hurricanes and all that stuff. It's not much of my liking, but it pays well, so I do it. I've done it for quite a while now. Anyway, major triads. We all know how to build major triads, root third and fifth. So let's just take it in the key of C, and I want to get to where you can see the guitar readily enough. How does this guitar sound anyway? Strats were the guitar of choice during the 80s, when all the club dates and all the gigs I was doing, everybody had to have a Strat. I hadn't had a Strat in a while, so I may be the owner of this soon. And yes, it's pink. It's shell pink. Anyway, let's get to the major triads. I really didn't print out anything this week, because I figured, we all know triads. It's just a matter of finding them on the guitar, learning them everywhere you can play them. We're going to do it in the key of C, and I'm going to start right here with root position. Oh, it's pretty, thanks. So we got C, E, G. Okay. Now we're going to go across the fingerboard. We're going to go vertical, and then we're going to go horizontal. So now, if you don't realize it, all you're going to do is take the lower note and put it on top. And now you have the next inversion. And then make sure you see this. Then this. Okay. And this. Fat sound. Good. I might use it tonight on the gig. I'll leave the PRS home. Okay, so this is what I just did. C, 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 C. Now let's go to our second inversion on the lower 3 strings. Okay. And then we go to the 5th in the bass. Now, of course, because we did them vertically, we can also do them horizontally, stay on the same 3 sets. Okay, then that's simple enough, right? So if we have all that going on, and we can play them, and we can start to visualize them, then we can start. Pardon me, lav mic is hitting things. Start to make it take the same approach, but now go from 1 to 5 to 1 in the same area. So here's 1, right? C, E, G. Everybody can see that? Or is it better if I switch cameras? That's easier. Okay. Now, the 5 chord in the key of C is a G7 chord. So we're going to voice lead. We're not going to go and then jump to another G anywhere. We're going to make the C go down to B, the E go down to D, and the common tone is G. So I went 1, 5, 1, 1. Now we're going to do the same thing. 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1. Okay, so we did it going vertically. Now we're going to do it from our first inversion. 1. Now where is our G from here? Well, this is going to go down to D. We're going to keep the G and move the C to B. Next inversion of C. Now where's our G going to go? Okay, now next inversion. And okay. Now let's go to our next inversion of C. G, C, C, G, C, C, G, C, C, G, C. Okay? And that covers going 1, 5, 1. And again, visualizing it. Realizing that you're voice leading like a piano player does from day one. They keep the notes that they can keep, and they move the notes that they have to move to satisfy the harmony, approaching harmony. Okay, now let's go 1, 4, 1. So now we have C, we're going to go to F. So common tones are going to stay. Well, the C is staying. Okay, and the E is going to go up to F, and the G is going to go up to A. Very gospel sounding stuff. Okay, now the next C. All right, this is all going to lead to some pretty hip stuff if you hang in there with me. Okay, let's go to here. Okay, we're going, this is going to go there. All right. And we haven't even talked about making these minor triads, which we'll do either today or at some point in the future. Okay, last one here is C with the fifth in the bass, second inversion. Okay, now what's going to happen here? We're going to move. Okay, so that just takes us 1. We did 1 5 1. Now we did 1 4 1. Now let's combine both and go 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1 1 4 5 1 1. I went back to 4 on you, I'm sorry. And then 1 4 5 1. Okay. Next inversion. 1 4 5 1. Next 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1. Okay. Last but not least, 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1. 1 4 5 1. Now, here's stuff you hear done all the time. Let's take this. We're in the key of C. So how about this? And what did I do? I just bent up and made it go. I went 4 1, but I bent up to the third. Instead of going, I went. All right. Now let's think about visualizing around these triads. There are some things you should become aware of. sus2, sus4. Where are they within my triads? So let's go back to one, just a root position triad in the key of C. You've heard this done a million times. Okay, what's being done? It's a sus2. All right, here's the root, here's the sus2, here's the fifth, and we just hammer on to the third. Or how about going sus4 to 3? All right, so if we can do it there, all right, let's do it on our next inversion. Do it on our next inversion. Our next inversion. Sorry. Okay, so those are little ditties that you should become aware of. They're part of everything. I mean, God, how many times do you hear someone go like this? I mean, first song I ever had to sing in a high school band was Eva Destruction. I think that was part of the intro. Hey Sam, how are you? You missed some stuff in the beginning, but re-rack it. You'll see it. It's all about all triads we're talking today. Everything's triads. So anyway, that covers the major triads. Now, we'll discuss the minor triads and the minor cadences where you start with one minor, and you know how if you can make the major triads, you certainly just lower the third, and you have your minor triads, and go through the same indoctrination of running through them in the different sets. So just briefly, C major, 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 C major. C major, C major, C major. That's going horizontally. We did it vertically. C major, C major, C major, C major. Okay. So anyway, that's the major triads, and the fact that we did them 1-4. 1-5-1, you should start to realize the voice leading from chord to chord, and I'm going to pick a few tunes that are really based on basic triads, pretty gospel-y tunes. Like I was doing it before. People Get Ready. I mean, it's just 2 chords, but if you blow on those changes and you use all the other notes that are surrounding it, you can play some great stuff. Everything doesn't have to be minor 7 flat 5s and dominant 7 sharp 9s, and improvisation is improvisation. And I saw a thing not too long ago. Rick Beato did something with Pat Metheny, and they were talking about how come jazz players have trouble playing on triads. Well, I guess because for the most part we're used to using every color on our palette and throw it on the canvas. Sometimes a little bit of restriction is cool. The other thing is, if you look at bebop and you look at Charlie Parker, everything is chord tones. We discussed this before. Everything resolves to chord tones. So yes, could you do that in People Get Ready? Of course, because you're resolving to the chord tones. So you don't have to just to apply it as if you're playing taps or reveille. If you resolve properly, you can use all those notes, all 12 notes. Anyway, here's some stuff I want to pass on to you all. We talked a bit about last week and the week before about turnarounds, about I Got Rhythm, and when I did I Got Rhythm, and I said last week that sometimes I just go right. And then really this is this in the minor third principle. So it's really just 1 dot 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 which is 5-7 to 5 to 5 to 1. Okay, so now check this out. Take every one of your major triads and move everything but the root down a half step twice, and you will have accomplished this. Okay? Watch closely, it's magic. I kept the C. I started with my triad. I kept the C, I moved the E down to E flat, the G down to G flat, then I moved it down one half step more. So it's, and that's a G7 chord, bringing me back to any kind of C. Okay, let's do a different inversion. I'm here. I'm keeping the C, and I'm moving the rest down a half step. Let's go to the next inversion. Keeping the C. Okay. Let's go to the next inversion. Keeping the C. This is a bit of a stretch now. Not harmonically, it's a bit of a stretch physically. Okay. Built all off of the starting triad, and as soon as I do this, this is an A flat, right? A flat 7, see it? G7, back to 1. So that's the fat version of it. Here's the skinny version. And if you reverse it, you have the bassy ending. Okay, no matter where you play it. So start with the triad, keep the common tone, keep the C, move everything down in half steps, and you will have accomplished 1. So let's do it in C. 1, 5, 7, 5, 5, 1. Okay, so those are fun little ditties that you can just discover by just moving things in half steps down, and you will have accomplished that. Does it work as any ending? Of course, I use it all the time. I use that, and you've seen me. I mean, you've seen me enough that you've seen me do things like. Let's just get back. And what is the one I'm really there you go. I just robbed myself. A little tough with 11s on a Strat, but anyway. So I hope those are fun little ditties. Okay, just briefly, I will go through just the minor fingerings for these triads. So if this is C major, here's C minor. Okay, this is C major, this is C minor. Sounds like 2001 Space Odyssey. Okay, C major, C minor, C major, C minor. And then if you incorporate like 1, 4, 5, but use 1 minor, that's kind of like a melodic minor cadence. So that would be 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, sorry, minor, we're talking. 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5, 1. Okay, harmonic minor would be 1 and a 4 minor. Hey, Jeffrey. Talking triads today. So if you get a chance to re-rack it, there's a lot of stuff all the way at the top of this thing. Okay, so if this was a harmonic minor cadence, and I'll give you that one, that's 1 minor. Okay, now the C minor, the F minor, you keep the C, and you put the A flat in there. Okay, and then 5, back to 1. And that's the harmonic minor cadence. Okay, and then, where am I? F minor, then G major, back to C minor, C minor, F minor, and last but not least, C minor, A minor, G major, C minor, and that covers using minor triads and cadences with that. But before your head blows up this time, stick to the major triads, stick to starting to get to where they are, make use of them, and then start to, like that. I just, I know where my flat 7 is. I just know where it is. I just voice led that to the F chord. Okay. Okay. Should I keep this strat, Jeff, or not? It's a friend's, and I might commandeer it. All right, so let's move on. Here's some ditties of just using triads that I think I might have even heard Eric Clapton do on Layla, where he went. Okay, so I just went F sharp minor, and instead of going B7 in that tradition, I just went to that, which gets to the pretty funky sound, right? To an E, to an A, which could have been E, could have been A, could have been E, could have been A, could have been E, could have been A. All right, the triads they're there. They're under your fingers all the time. You just got to beat yourself up enough. So let me just check my tuning on this, since I just put strings on this sucker. I think when Jeff came and I first met, my main guitar was a Strat. That's about the last time I've actually owned a Strat. It's a nice one. Come on, y'all. Tune up. I just want to tell you a little. I had the good fortune, a bass player, a very fine bass player, who I'm actually working with tonight with Mary, Bill Brady, about 2 years ago, called me up and said, "Do you want to do a church gig?" Now, not for nothing, but after I was confirmed, I wound up diving into a million other different religions, from Zen to Jehovah's Witness, not embracing any of them, but the gig paid, and it was at a Catholic church, which is my history, and so I took the gig, and it was every Sunday, and I was with this lovely guy named Anthony Tabish. He had a very pristine, very like the three tenors kind of voice, semi-classically, whatever, but great voice, great voice. So we did the gig, and we started turning it into more and more of a gospel situation than we did with the traditional Catholic Church. A guy changes the cape and his little hat, and it's a different mass, and so it became a pretty funky thing, and then of course COVID hit, and that ended. But there's two parts to this story. One, I developed a really better appreciation, I should say, to the simplicity of triadic gospel type of harmonies. I mean, I always loved them. I always made use of them, but more and more, all that Jimmy stuff. Jeff just said, which is true. All the Jimmy stuff, triads. So anyway, getting back to my quick story. It was a blast, so all these little ditties I'm showing you that I built off of the triad stuff. Again, you can play bebop lines on triads as long you're resolving to chord tones, and it's all about chord tones. That's what makes the best melodies. That's what makes the melodies. That's what makes great improvisation. In my opinion, look at any song and look at the melody, and tell me it's not a chord tone. All right, that is being used. If I play a chord and I say sing something in this chord, you are gonna sing a chord tone. And if your ears are really great, maybe a flat 5, which is still a chord tone, or a 9, if you can pull that out. So anyway, getting back to my Anthony Tabish story. That was my truly only experience with playing, I don't want to say gospel music, but in a church setting. And sad to report that right before, I had gotten my vaccine, so I'm at the ripe old age of 68, and he's 61. Well, right before they allowed the vaccine, he got COVID, and within a week expired and passed away. So I dedicate all of this stuff that I'm talking to you to him. He was a sweet man, a very talented man. If you get a chance, look him up on YouTube, Anthony Tabish. Very legit singer, very gifted singer, great, classically trained style voice. It was an honor to have that time with him. Anyway, building lines on with the triads. So I think I was doodling around before with all right, so that song is really just 2 chords. It just goes from a 1 chord to a 4 chord. All right, now I used a little bit of chromaticism to it. So I'm building right off of the triads. Let's just take a look at it real quick. I'll do the song in C since we've been talking about everything in C. All right, so here's my C triad. Here's my 4 chord. Back to 1. Let's see what I just did there, okay? Get the squeak here on my mic. I just went from this triad down to that C. In big chords, in small chords, is what I showed you before. Okay, which again is C, hold the C, D7, G7, taking us back to 1. So it's 1, 5, 7 to 5, 5, 1. That's the big form. Okay? And here's what it was when I played it in little thirds. And then I ended on first inversion C chord, which then, like Jeff brought up, Hendrix. Okay? So, you know, that just came to me just now when I did that. Let's find some other ditties. Sorry. So, all right, so that's what I took this going down. And I landed a C there. I just voice left them. I'm just making this stuff up, having fun with it. Anyway, any questions? We covered a lot on triads. We covered a lot on voice leading. I showed you some little ditties that you can have fun with. Throw them into your playing. I use all that stuff when I play this. Triads. Robin George. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, any questions, any stuff that I can quickly turn you on to, because I have to scoot to a gig, get to the 76 house by quarter after 6 or so. We can go a little bit longer here. Anything Jeff, anything Sam, anything Rosmel, anything Clive, anything Mary, although probably Mary's getting ready for the gig tonight. He probably jumped off. Jeffrey, this a keeper? Who is your favorite student? You, of course. Yeah, Sam, review it all. Find me on Facebook and instant message me or something, because I don't want to post my my email address here. Spread triads. We could talk about that for a second. I got a few minutes on that. Yeah, it's pink. It belongs to a friend, and he offered it to me. It's a what is it? It's a 60th anniversary. So the index finger bend. The index finger bend that. Here's if you do triple stops. So there's a lot of people doing some great stuff. I saw a young man on there. He was doing a half bend on one and a full step on another. I don't know if I can do it with 11s. But anyway, spreads. Okay, let's just talk about that for a second. Here's a real common one. All right, which is here's the G with the third and the bass. I'm talking to a G major now, and then okay, so G minor would be. So that would be 1. Then if you want to jump an octave on that, I mean, that's a pretty sound. Russ, get that in tune. Too many bends. So, anyway, getting back to the spread one real quick. I've been trying this. That's actually the prettiest one, but that's. Which actually turns out to be very much like my 3-note voicings, but I mean that's all it is that as a spread voicing. But it's nice to double the root on it. It sounds very. So if I was gonna go 1, I guess 5, I would probably go. That would voice lead it the best. Or nah. You've heard me do this before. You know, and if you're doing that, again, visualize. If I'm playing this, I see this as C. You know, it's not separate. You know, whether you play notes as groups or you play notes separate, it's the same thing. So I see that's C. Okay, here's another little ditty, real quick, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, play your major triads, just 1, 3, 5, and think about there's only but so many places to play them because they repeat the intervals of going up a major third and up a minor third. You know, is whether it's either one of two places. It's either on an adjacent string or it's on the same string. Okay, so if I'm going to go C, E, G. Okay, everywhere I got C, E, G. Okay, Dennis Sandoli did this to me one of my first lessons, and he goes, so let's do it for real. What am I missing? Every finger. So I'm starting on here. Okay, you get the idea. You know, there are only but so many places. You know, a major third is either going to go like this or it's going to go, and that's that. So you got to start to recognize that and see melody and harmony and chromaticism is all one thing. Certainly chord tones and melodies, it's, and harmonization points. Who cares where you harmonize something, you know? I mean, put the G in the bass. I mean, I'm sorry, G in the melody. So I just see it all as whether it's single notes or chords. I don't discern. So you might want to start to play your chord, even if it's that, and at the very least, either if not arpeggiate. Do your major pentatonic scale. How many times do you hear me play that? God, I should be arrested for as many times as I play that line. And all I did was go from half step below the third, then chromatic up to the fifth. That's all based on the triad. I didn't even touch the flat 7, which is third again. Going down chromatic. Okay, so I mean that's how it goes on in my head and in my ear. I'll just give you one other little tip. Okay, C7 chord. I'll go chromatic all the way down to the 6th. Okay, here it is again, down from the 3rd. Now, what's the important part? I hit a chord tone on the strong beats. That's the important part. Okay, I'm going to doodle around here a little bit. I don't know what's going to pop out, but if there's no questions, I'll hang for like 2 more minutes. And I think next week, if it's okay with everybody, we'll do Tuesday again because they got me working 4 days this next week, I think. Like I said, with the Afghanistan thing and with floods and tornadoes and whatever, so they're throwing me work. And if any of you live near the 76 house, which is in Tapan, New York, come by, bring your axe, sit in. We play a lot of jazz, we play a lot of R&B, we play a lot of soul music, you know, play a lot of blues. Anyway, I'm going to toots around, and if I don't see any questions pop up, bless you all and stay safe. I guess I'm going to church today. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and thanks again for joining in. Oh, you're very welcome, man. Put this stuff to use. I'll see you all next week. Again, find me on Facebook, instant message me. I'll be happy to give you my email address and my contact. So if you have questions and you want to text me or whatever, I'm an open book. It's all yours, whatever I got. So I'll talk to you all soon. Stay well.